Mechagodzilla, get the hell out of my way.
I can't. You'll destroy city.
Well, you asked for it. What the hell was that?
Oh god, it's in my eye. Flawless victory.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Important Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnaz.
And today we'll be going over the Bandai Tamashii Nation SE's Monsterarts Fire Rodan. We've had a few requests for this action figure, so decided to put out a review for this bad boy right here.
Wait, before we go any further, who is this guy, Steve?
This guy is from the film Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which was from the Heisei era, which I believe the film came out in 1993, where Godzilla ends up fighting Rodan here, big old bad boy here. Rodan gets defeated, and then gets charged up with radiation, becomes Fire Rodan. And then Fire Rodan fights Mechagodzilla, loses, gets mortally wounded. Godzilla equally getting mortally wounded. Rodan ends up sacrificing himself in order to save Godzilla so that they can rescue baby Godzilla. And the main reason I picked up this figure is because he actually comes with accessories for other kaijus in my collection, like Mechagodzilla and the Godzilla, where he actually has effects to go along with them. Which is something that's really cool for this guy. And you get Fire Rodan with it. What could be better?
Steve, I have one thing to ask.
Yep.
Why does it look like that stand is just up his rear entrance?
We will go over that in this review. And without further ado, for the packaging, getting Mr. Fire Rodan out of the way for a second. Stop trying to attack me.
Eating your finger, Steve.
All right. You get a nice image of Fire Rodan on the front of this packaging, which actually looks more like Fire Rodan from the actual movie and not from the actual figure. I don't know, it's just, they don't really look quite similar, but whatever.
You just don't see it, Steve. You're colorblind.
You also get the Monsterarts on the top here, his name here, came out in 2012, Bandai Tamashii Nation. Top of the packaging, you get this awesome Batman logo. With this clear window with Fire Rodan in the middle of it. Also this cool little picture of him down here in the bottom right corner. Side of the packaging, you get Rodan's chest and a nice black and white image of Rodan on the side here. Looks sweet. Also some more Fire Rodan. Other side of the packaging, even more Fire Rodan. And then for the back, you just get him in some dynamic poses. Get some stuff I can't understand on the side here. Awesome poster though.
Hey, Steve, customers have asked for you to read that for them.
Yeah. And some legal mumbo jumbo. So let's get this guy, actually, I'll just get into it. Alright, bringing back Rodan into the shot for a second. Here we have him standing, well, he was standing by himself.
Put his crotch back on, Steve.
I know, right? He can actually stand in this position, but it's not really working out too well right now. You know, we'll just go over the accessories real quick. Which, for starters, we have what Arnaz is affectionately calling his crotch stand. Which, what this is you literally just sit him on top of this. Which, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want this portion here to be where the tail is actually going to be sticking through. Like so. Just sit him right on top of it, literally. And then I watch
it doesn't work.
Face plant. Yeah, it takes a little bit of finessing here. But once you get on there, he actually stays on there pretty decently. Pretty decently, I might add. Because it's still a decent amount of wiggling is going to get him knocked off. But what this is going to do for you is actually get him to be able to be displayed without having him super high off the ground, so you don't really have to worry about him breaking if he falls. But you can still actually get him to display fairly nicely on there, which is something that is pretty cool. I actually have never really used this accessory though until now, because the way he's been displayed on myself is with this other accessory, his flight stand, which I think is actually really sweet because you can actually get him pretty high off the ground here. Looks really cool actually having him kind of soaring around, even though that is one stupid huge cradle. Which the cradle does kind of stick out like a sore thumb though when you have him actually sitting on it. But it does actually hold him in there pretty nicely. I'm actually more worried about the Tamashii Nation stand actually bending more than him actually falling off of this thing. But he does look super cool there, just kind of soaring around. Just like, even get his little mouth open, which is awesome.
Steve?
Yeah?
He looks derpy like that.
You look derpy. And then he comes with 3 stands, which one that you get is this really nice one with this gold flaking here, then Rodan painted on top of this with Fire Rodan here on the bottom. Looks really sweet. You also get a more basic one with nothing going on other than the metallic flicking. And this super sweet Tear Down Forever one with Kazuma Aoki. Or Uki.
It's something.
Something. And then for his last official accessory for him, he comes with his radioactive breath effect, which looks super sweet. I really love the pink paint job that they got going here with a little bit more of a lighter shade on the inside of it, and the light reflects off this thing very, very nicely. I really like how it kind of blooms at the end here too, where it has like this more bigger energy wave towards the end, while the tip is very tiny because it actually has to go inside of his mouth. Which this breath effect looks freaking awesome on this guy. I also love too that he comes with actually total 3 Tamashii Nation stands, so you can actually have him fully flying, fully posed with the beam effect. And for his other accessories, this super huge sausage looking Godzilla beam effect, which this is for the normal Heisei Godzilla, which can also be used with the Burning Godzilla or the Rebirth Godzilla. Pretty much anything that you could fit this mouthpiece over top of. But it looks really sweet. I love the orange effect here where it has the more auburn color on the inside and then it turns to a darker shade coming out of the mouth and coming towards the end of the breath effect. But what's really cool, it actually has these overlaying electrical beams coming over top of it to give it this really awesome, more supercharged appearance, because essentially this is what was happening during the end of the film where he's shooting his breath effect after gaining his powers from Rodan, which becomes this super awesome broken beam, which, again, you get a separate Tamashii Nation stand for this one to have on your Godzilla, and then grabbing Godzilla real quick. Here's the breath effect with our Godzilla, which, again, looks freaking amazing on this, especially since this one was the reissue that didn't actually come with a breath effect, so I was super glad to actually be able to get a hold of one for this guy. And I gotta say, I really love that Rodan actually came with this, and this isn't even it for accessories. He comes with one more, which is this battle damaged Mecha Godzilla head, which, Arnez, if you want to go over this section.
That's my favorite Godzilla. It's Mecha Godzilla.
Which the main reason he has this little effect piece is Rodan here just kind of decided to rip the crap out of that eye. Just like,
wait, he poked his eye out?
Yeah, in the movie, he just gets attacked and Rodan's like, I'm not gonna take your shit. And
I got this. Where's Rodan at?
I know, right? Get out of here. But the details on the head are amazing. If you guys have the Mecha Godzilla figure is awesome as well. And the details,
do you, Steve?
Actually, I do. Grabbing the original's head just so you guys can see. Pretty much not really any major difference, which is really awesome, so that if you swap them out, it's not going to be distracting at all. So if you actually want to swap these things out, which is really easy because all you do is you just pull upwards on Mechagodzilla's head here, pops right out of here, little peg right here, peg hole on the bottom of the head here, just swap that bad boy out. Here it is on our new Mechagodzilla, which looks freaking amazing as well. Also like that it has some mouth articulation so you can actually open it up, because this one came with a breath effect to actually go with this guy. So it'd be kind of depressing if that actually didn't articulate. But it looks really awesome on this Mechagodzilla. It's actually generally the way I actually have them displayed on my shelf, because I kind of have all these guys together in one spot to make like a little diorama. And overall, I just love that he actually came with this, because it's probably one of the more iconic things from that movie for me anyways, is when Rodan just kind of went to town on Mechagodzilla's face. And it's really cool that he came with this.
You're ruining the movie for me, Steve. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm sorry. And then finally for the coup de grace, we have good old Fire Rodan here. Who is actually pretty cool for how tiny of a figure this is. I'll show you guys the comparisons in a little bit, but this guy's, for Monsterarts anyways, not super big, but then again in the film, wasn't really that big of a kaiju either. Which is kind of why I think when he originally came out, he was somewhere in the $50 price range, because that's what I picked up mine for. But for the head sculpt here, looks amazing. Love the details on here where you even have his pupils there look amazing, which is very impressive for how stupid small this figure is. Which overall his paint job here is this orangish color, which he also has more of a flesh tone here for the body and also here for the wings. And then for his beak is more of a cement gray color. And on the inside of his mouth is blood red. You can even see the teeth on the top and the bottom there, which are also individually painted. Looks amazing. And then you also get his horns here, which kind of transition from a more brown color into a more yellowing bone color coming towards the top, which looks really good. Very iconic from the movie. Neck details are really nice, and I really like how they got the wrinkling effect here for the majority of his skin. Because in the film, it wasn't really scaly looking. Like, it actually just kind of looked like tightened up skin for the most part. Kind of like what you'd see on like a rhino or an elephant. And then also you got his trademark spikes here on the back, which are also this more bonish yellow coloring. And then the back details here look really nice. For the wings, also look very good. I also really like the little hand here on the top. It's freaking adorable. What's also really neat too for the wings is you actually can, if it shows up on the camcorder here, is it actually has some vein work on the inside of the wings. So there's actually some added detail for it. Might be a little bit easier to see on the under section here. But it is really cool, like these little subtle added attention to details here that just really make this figure actually pop. Chest details look really nice as well, because like on the original Rodan, he has these segmented sections on his chest and abdomen region here. And then he has these more bone protrusions here on the chest here, which are more for like defense and whatnot, but still looks really cool. Also more of the bone yellowing for here, and the peach skin color here for the chest portion looks good. Legs are super tiny, but also look really nice as well. A lot of details here. Also has like a little bit of armor plating here for the lower portion of the legs. These little claws are freaking adorable. Also super terrifying because a lot of things on this figure are actually really small. So if you guys do end up picking up this figure, just be a little bit careful because this guy, I do fear, can break rather easily because the horns here on top of his head, pretty thin. Beak, pretty thin. Bone protrusions, really thin. Same with the feet here. Tail region. Haven't had too much problem with mine because mine's actually fallen off his little flight stand a few times and nothing bad's happened. Well, it's just something to be kind of concerned about. Then for his nails are more of a black color, which looks really nice. You can kind of see a little bit better on the nails on the hands here, which look really sweet. And then for his tail, which is also super tiny and adorable, has more of the bone spike protrusions here coming along the tail here. Stops right towards the little tip right here. And overall, just this guy. Crap ton of details, especially for how small of a figure this is. Like, they pretty much, you get your money's worth out of this little fire Rodan. And for his articulation, his head could look up about that far, down about that far. You can pivot a little bit to the left and to the right. Also can rotate, I think, all the way around without having too much of a hindrance, which is really cool. For his mouth, can move up and down. Also has a little bit of a wiggle to it. Then for his wings, shoulders can move up about that far, down about that far. Can move. One thing to point out is his wings are actually really easy to pop out. But his wings can move down about that far with out popping out of the ball joint. Can move back about that far. Then for the wings here, can also move forward and back because each of these are on their own little hinge. And then for the wings, can also rotate a little bit, but if you rotate too much, it will pop out of the ball joint, so you can get it down about that far, which is really cool. For his hands, on a little peg joint, so it can move forward and back, and can also rotate side to side. I want to try to get it to go all the way around because it can actually pop out pretty easy there. Then for his legs, can move out about that far, in about yay far. It has a pretty decent forward kick. Can move backwards about that far. Has actually a really nice bend here at the knee because it is not technically on the double joint, but it kind of gives that appearance. But it does actually bend pretty well. Also has a little bit of a rotation for his feet on a peg joint, so they can move forward and back and also rotate all the way around. If you wanted to do a pivot, you're going to have to position the peg joint here in a way that it's going to be actually shifting side to side instead of forward and back. Then for his tail, it's actually on ball joints where the separated section is here at the rear. There's one right there. One right there, there, and there for the last section. Which the tail is actually pretty freaking posable, if I gotta say. Then for some quick comparison, here we have the SH Monsterarts Fire Rodan compared to some other SH Monsterarts figure with Mechagodzilla and the Heisei Godzilla. Which you can kind of see what I was talking about with these guys definitely being much larger kaijus than the Fire Rodan. But then again, that's how he was portrayed in the film. And here's some NECA action figures with the Godzilla 1994 and 2014.
Okay, before you begin this next section, Steve, what is this hideous thing?
Why, that's the Japanese Bandai Vinyl Fire Rodan, and also Mechagodzilla from the same movie.
That thing's hideous.
You're hideous.
Right there. You see that thing? It looks so hideous.
Caesar! So overall, the SH Monsterarts Fire Rodan, I think this figure is actually pretty sweet. I love the amount of detail and articulation this figure has, and the accessories they come with are actually really sweet, and as a total package, this figure is awesome.
Actually, Steve, I'm surprised how much articulation he has on him.
Yeah, especially for how small of a figure this is, he actually bends pretty well. But that being said, I would only really recommend picking up this guy if you guys either have Godzilla and Mechagodzilla to go with him, or if you guys are planning to pick him up, because to me he feels more like a total package. Like he's really there to complement your other figures. By himself, he's not quite as great though, especially at the prices that he's at nowadays. So if you guys are definitely planning on picking up Mechagodzilla and Godzilla, then you guys need to be adding the Pterosaur King to your collection today. But what do you guys think? Do you guys own the Fire Rodan? What's your favorite flying dinosaurs? Anger is just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll post a picture of this guy on Facebook. If you want to click the link description below. Help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe to become a ranger today, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Hey, King Kong, you ever feel underappreciated that nobody respects us nearly as much as the legendary versions?
Yeah, I'm being sick of being disrespected.
I know, right? Especially since both yours and my movie are the second highest grossing movies in both of our franchises. Deal with it. So you know what I think? I think we should go and, maybe take out the competition?
Yeah, let's do this.
Huh. Didn't seem so big on the screen, huh? You know what, Con? I think you got this. Hey, Godzilla? He said your movie sucked.
So I hear you didn't like my movie.
Well, since this is the hand I've been dealt, Peter Jackson makes better movies.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Important Views. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we're going over the SH Monsterarts Peter Jackson's King Kong from the 2005 remake. This was a figure donated to us by Jared Pyron, which thanks again, you are awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the thing I'm most excited about to having this figure now is when the V-Rex comes out next month, I actually have a Kong to stand next to it and to do actual pictures with it, because I was kind of concerned on how I was going to go about that process.
Just superimpose it on like another Kong.
Yeah, just to have like the actual like Kong shots, just put the toy in there and see how it works. Because outside of that, I probably would have been using the McFarlane of the 33.
Well, that one's not bad, I guess.
Yeah, but it's bigger. So then again, I don't even 100% sure how the T-Rex is going to be. If it's going to be huge. But anyways, if you guys don't know which version of this Kong this is from, again, this is from the Peter Jackson movie, came out in 2005. Funny note, was the first date I took my wife on.
Well, I used to like the movie.
It was also the second time I seen it. Because I found out she didn't see it. I'm like, yeah, you want to go see it? Like, I'm always down for monster movies, and I knew her beforehand, so I knew how much she liked them too. So I figured it'd be a fun little first time. But anyways, we're just going to get into it. So without further ado, for the packaging.
This is my part, Steve.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hold on. Let's move everything. Give me a sec.
And for the packaging, it's what you see right here, you guys. If you don't see it, you're just not looking hard enough. Look a little harder, and it's there.
No, it's in the back.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't come with the packaging. For the most part, from what I can remember, it's not a super huge box. But it had like some of the like jungle foliage and stuff you saw in a lot of Kong merchandise from back then. You would have been able to see the figure on the inside of it and some Lego Mumbo Jumbo somewhere on the package. So anyways, let's just get into the figure. So for his first accessory, he comes with his own little display stand, which is just a Tamashii X stand with a way bigger clamp on the top section here.
Now, does that mean he can't stand without the stand, or?
No, he stands pretty well by himself. I generally usually recommend, even if you don't like the stands, to just use them to be on the safe side, because stuff knocks off your shelf, what have you. He's going to tip over. But you essentially just clamp it around him, get him displayed.
Looks really good on the camera, Steve.
Shh. I'm setting it up and then we'll move him. But once you get him on there, it helps to keep him upright. Like, you don't have to worry about him tipping backwards on you and what have you. I imagine if you got enough front weight, it's still going to tip over, but towards the back, it'll do its job.
He's pretty stable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he's slowly turning, but enough, like, you just walking around, I don't think it's going to really tamper with this too much. That, and I kind of wish he maybe would have had, like, some way to actually just peg into him. Kind of like what they do with figure arts. Or not figure arts, Figmas. Where you can just hook it into the back and call it a day.
When he looked nasty then with a hole in his back, though.
You can cover it up. They do it with the the Ultra Axe and some of the figure arts where they just have like that little spot where you just cover it up. Because you got joints anyway, so what's it gonna matter? You like that con action there?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but that booty looks nice. You got that flappy dappy.
I was just say, look at that little apple bottom. Like, this got a nice. You know what? We're just next accessories.
Perfection.
Faces.
You should be proud of yourself.
We're going from asses to faces. You just swore in the video. What's wrong with you? But anyway, starting with this head sculpt, you get straight out of the packet. Well, I think this is straight out of the package. Might have been the roaring one. Anyways, you get a more stern expression con. More like stagnant, kind of disapproving. Just more or less menacing. But you get his one little snaggletooth kind of sticking out of the lower jaw. His eyes are a really nice dark orange. Oh, Ernest showed me the picture. It was roaring. So this is one of the extras. I thought I was doing it right. But also on the side of the head, you get these scars that he would have gotten from some kind of battle. It's also in the shape of an A.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I was looking at it. It's like he got a fight with Fonz.
Hey! Oh man, that would have made way more sense if he actually would have got that in the Skull Island movie. because of Samuel L. Jackson, it'd be like Avengers Assemble right on the side of his head. But for the most part, the hair looks really nice on the head. You get the ears towards the back, done in a black and gray coloring, and it looks very great, ape-like. Grape ape? Remember grape ape?
He looks like Mighty Joe Young.
Well, it's just a gorilla, so yeah, it's gonna look like they all look the same.
According to this toy down here, then you got King Kong looks different. It's more lighter.
Yeah, but that one's more like Sasquatch looking. Like this guy's just straight gorilla. Like look at this face.
This one's just happy to see you while the other one feeds your wild side.
He's got some DSLs if I've ever seen them. But more or less, same kind of detailing. Just, God, that's a goofy little look to him. Like there's no teeth showing either. I kind of wish there's maybe some teeth in the back.
That is epic. What do you want from that?
Yeah, that's true. I'm probably going to have... What I should do in my display is have him like this, but with like the 2014's beam going over top of his head, and you just be like, pretty. But still a pretty neat little expression. And then we got the one that probably everybody has theirs displayed with.
That's why we got to display it with the kissy face, right?
Exactly. We need some variety compared to these other collectors.
Yeah, he's doing the duck face for the selfies.
But you have Kong here roaring with his teeth fully exposed and gnashing outwards. You have his tongue revealing as well, done in a... kind of looks a little pinkish to me.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
But again, most of the rest of the detailing for the head is mostly the same. But still, probably the coolest look, personally. Like, generally speaking, all jokes aside, this is probably the one I would mainly display him with. But also, should we look at the package again and make sure these are straight out of the package? So we're not wrong.
Let me find this out right meow.
But he comes with a pair of clenched fists for punching Godzillas. Well, I guess V-Rexes. But he's primarily going to be punching Godzillas in this collection. Well, actually, that's a lie. Once I get the V-Rexes, he'll be punching those. Faster.
The one hand we can see, it's clenched.
Sweet. Straight ripped from packages. He comes with a pair of walking hands. I don't know what the best to call those. Just knuckle walking hands. He also comes with a pair of open hands for grab. Well, they're not really like great grabbing hands.
They're John Cena hands, man.
Just. I get really terrified of messing around with these elbows.
Yeah, there you go.
Close. See? Hold on, we'll rotate. There you go. We have to have that one kind of joke in here. He also comes with a...
Anne.
Anne, yes, thank you. I was trying to remember her last name real quick.
Yeah, who cares?
Anyways. But he comes with him gripping her. I wonder... That is definitely not removable.
No, but keep going up. I'll show you what that mouth is for. Oh no, where's the kissy face?
Oh, kissy... Hold on a second. Will this work? Can he do it? Come on, Con. Get it in there without me breaking the elbow. Yeah!
Hey, PG-13, Steve. 5 seconds of nudity.
He's already nude.
Oh, that's gonna be a thumbnail picture right there, Steve.
Just like this. Looks like he's just trying to mow on her. Well, it was going to be 2014. But the detailing on her is fairly lackluster.
He's just kissing her in 2014 in the background, just shocked.
He just has like both arms. I'm just like, oh. And then he comes with a pair of gripping hands, which is primarily for his stick.
Why does he have a stick?
Why not? He has to shove something inside Godzilla's mouth, so why not a stick? If anything, we need to put like some foliage on one end so it becomes a tree. So it needs to look like a broccoli. We need a broccoli shoved in Godzilla's mouth. Also, you can kind of put it in his kissy mouth. So you got that going for it.
Oh, see, while the other Kong was drinking, this one's smoking.
We need, oh man, we need that little skit where he's just like, don't show me what you. He's got the hands. God, I really need a 62 Monsterarts Kong for sure. Not a 33, but 62 top priority.
I think 33 would be better.
Would be better. But in my heart, I know I need a 62. But overall, branch looks pretty cool. Use it primarily, again, beating up other monsters or V-Rexes. But done in a brown, well, light brown with dark brown undertones.
Whatever that is.
Again,
is
nothing too complicated. It kind of like, almost seems like, you remember that scene where she's inside the log and then runs out of it? But this would be way too small for that. I'm trying to remember, it's been a hot minute. Like, do you actually have like a stick he was using in the movie? I just remember just punching and ripping dinosaurs' mouths open.
So you remember the best part. That's all that matters, right?
Touche. But moving down the rest of the Kong for his detailings on his chest, very ripped, very muscular, has a little bit of battle damage going across the top of his pecs and some different varying patterns. You same on the top of his shoulders, you get 3 slashes right there. Kind of like, I remember like the T-Rex biting him up there. Might have been kind of cool to maybe have like some teeth marks.
You already do got all those scars on it. What more you want?
They look like cuts though. Like I want like gnashes. She doesn't really have. Like he's got a few more on his back. Some on the top here. And just in varying places. But it helps to just add to the overall figure and just give him a little bit more character. Like you can definitely tell that this Kong has been through some crap. The only thing is because the red is glossy, it seems like all of this is fresh.
What do you mean fresh?
Like he's still bleeding.
Oh. Okay.
Like a lot of this damage has just happened, which outside of the V-Rex fight, like I have a hard time believing that. Like his face especially is glossy. The rest of it isn't so bad. But you think it would have more scarred over into more of like a pink than these dark reds. But not really much else to really talk about. He's just got a lot of fur texturing on his arms. Hands look pretty nice overall. Same with his tummy.
Only thing that bugs me about him is how his like chest and stomach gap right there. How the chest is super shiny and glossy and the stomach is not. So like kind of makes it look weird.
Yeah, but then again, like this part isn't quite as like this is more skin than the fur. Though you think that'd be kind of the opposite though, right? Like the fur would be a little bit more shiny than the skin. Personally, I like it. Like it seems like toy-wise, this seems right to me. Like, especially, like, with the old, like, I have the Imperial Kong, which I probably should go get for the comparisons. I forgot to grab him. But, do have him. Kind of has the same thing going on.
What's wrong with his eyes? Why are they super red?
I like reddish-orange. They were pretty, like, dark red in the movie, too.
I thought maybe he got some blood in his eyes or something.
I don't know, maybe. Might have, like, popped a vessel. Who knows?
Can you imagine the poop he takes?
I can imagine the movie takes on us.
No wonder you pop a vessel or two.
Maybe that's why we got the stick accessory. Maybe it's not actually a stick. But very fuzzy, but very large booty. Moving down his legs. A little bit on the stumpy side. But you get his 5 toes on the bottom there. And overall, just like a solid looking gorilla. Nothing really too much to really say. Like, there's not really any way you can really prove it. Like, you got the Popeye arms, looks correct. It's got a little bit of a gut. Again, looks correct. Looks muscular. That's pretty much what I want out of the Kong.
So you want him to be like Popeye with the gut and the arms?
Well, yeah, because we even got this. Like, he needs a pipe. Again, stick. Just real
so many skits this guy can do. It's hilarious. just from one face.
Darn tootin'. Alright, but for the articulation, I'm gonna say it now. Kind of terrifying. Especially here, because I've already, doing photos, have noticed one issue in particular. I already solved the issue. Well, sorta. I might actually mess around with that more. Might make a video about that. But that'll be on a later date. That'll be on our other channel. But for his head, look up about that far, down about that far, a little bit to the left, to the right, side to side. Not really a rotation though. Because when you start to rotate, it's just going to pop the face off. For his arms, can go up about that far, down about that far. Rotates all the way around. Rotation at the shoulder. Rotation at the bicep.
Oh God!
Now,
careful.
he also has a rotation technically here and here. Issue is, there's the joint in here is super duper fragile. And popping this off, because when I was doing the articulation, I was messing around with it a bit. And the piece of plastic in there can fracture really, really easy. So I reinforced this guy when I got him, because just better safe than sorry. But I might actually try to remake that joint, or at least the little plastic connector there. But his arm can bend about that far, straightens up about that far. You can rotate the hand all the way around. A little bit of play with it. Chest could go backwards about that far, forwards about that far, side to side. A lot of range of motion there. You have to arch him back in order to get him into his walking on all four poses. You can also, with the legs, kind of shift them outwards a little bit.
Weird. Oh, that's for the
But that's so you can get him in his all fours. So you can kind of shift it a little bit. So a lot of play there. You can go forward about that far, backwards about that far. Pretty nice bend at the knee. Also rotation up here. Feet, a little bit of rotation, a little bit back and forth. And these toes can go a little bit up and down. And for some quick comparisons, here we have the Essie's Monsterarts Peter Jackson Kong compared next to some other King Kongs, well, specifically the 93 Kong with the Imperial and the McFarlane. And here's some other Essie's Monsterarts figures with Spitfire Godzilla 2014 and Shin Godzilla, the original version, which seems kind of big in comparison, don't you think? And here's compared next to the Lantern Kong from Skull Island and the NECA 24-inch long 2014 Godzilla. And here's compared next to some SH figure arts with Twin Tails from Ultraman and Belial Atrocious from Ultraman Geed. And finally, for some other gorillas in my collection, here we have and compare next to the Kenner and NECA Gorilla Alien. So overall, for the SH Monsterarts King Kong, I think this thing's fantastic. For what he originally came out at, which was like 40, 50 bucks, I want to say, the amount of accessories this guy came with and the detailing for this figure is just mind-blowing. For when he came out, outside of the horribly designed elbow joints, this figure's fine.
Yeah, there's actually nothing wrong with him. 45 bucks, like, God, if you can find that now for 45 bucks, that'd be the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, definitely hop on it. Now, I think he's like 200-ish right now, is about what you're going to expect to pay for this guy.
You hurt me.
2 plus.
Oh, that hurts.
At that price, hell no.
God.
Like, especially with, again, this guy is really cool, but also fairly delicate. Like, you gotta take your time when messing around with this figure. Which is something, as an action figure, is a bit of a fail.
Yeah.
Being cheap, like, bringing down the price, it's not so bad. But once you start talking about, I could almost buy a game system for the same price as this action figure. At that point, you're better off just leaving him in the box.
Well, you can see how come he only cost 45 bucks, you know, because there's few things that went light on and easy on, but paying 200 bucks for it.
Yeah, just at that price, it's the reason why I didn't have one to begin with, is because I just haven't been able to find them for a reasonable price. Because I feel like, even for me, anything over 100 with the box is pushing it for this guy.
Box does look nice, though.
I still want one in the box, but this guy will work perfectly fine for me until one day I hopefully can randomly come across it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys know the SH Monsters Kong? What's your favorite version of the Kong? Is Harambe just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. Look closer pictures of this guy on our Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account, guys, that like to help support the channel. Also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Godzilla, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Oh, don't worry, son. One day, you're going to be even more powerful than I am.
Really?
Sure.
One movie later.
Yeah, who's the big sexy kaiju now? Look at these fully developed arms and long slender legs. Oh hey little Godzilla, what's up? I'm not little anymore, jeez.
I hate to break it to you, but when you're the same size as you were in the last movie, nothing's changed.
You must have gotten that from your mom's side.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we got a shout out because somebody subscribed to our Patreon account.
Steve, that does not mean literally shout out in the camera, man.
Gonna shout and yell. It's awesome.
It is awesome because they donated $10, man. You're amazing.
Fantastic for Colby Fulse. I hope I said that right.
I'm sorry if you didn't. You know what? Just to be sure, I'm going to slap him.
Oh god. Face. Alright, just get into it. But today we're gonna be going over the SH Monsterarts Little Godzilla and Godzilla Jr.
Whoa.
Thank you.
That's not a little Godzilla. That's Minia.
You shut your mouth. Don't you ever disrespect the little ball of cuteness right there. We're mainly doing this review as a thank you for the $10. And this is probably the most requested review that we have on this channel. For some odd reason, everybody is super fixated on us going over these figures. So, because we had a donation on Patreon, we're going to go over these figures here. Because I was going to do another Evangelion figure review. Actually, I was going to do two, so that's the main reason why there's two here.
But we're going to do something that'll actually get views so people can see that we're tanking that guy.
Yeah.
I like that Evangelion crap.
Oh, I like the Evangelion crap. But if you don't know where these guys are from, Little Godzilla is from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla.
Minia.
Little Godzilla. And Godzilla Jr. is from Godzilla vs. Destroya. It's also technically the same kaiju. But they're both the same height?
They don't look the same. I think you're lying to me.
Which is odd.
This one's a little bit different green color, Steve. You lied to me.
You've seen the movie. Also, I got a Band-Aid on my finger because I have boo-boo. Got it at work.
Steve's a boo-boo.
I took my shirt off, and then they made fun of me. I thought I looked ripped. But, alright. So, anyways, without further ado, further packaging, getting these guys out of the way for a second. But for Little Godzilla's packaging, you get a nice image of the figure. Or is that the suit?
I don't know, but it's pretty ugly.
What? That is a cuteness.
Hey, I want my...
all the time right there.
I want my Godzilla monster to be mean, tough, not cute and adorable.
But that's the whole...
No.
Anyways,
No.
I appreciate... But the package is majority-wise green. You also have a clear plastic Little Godzilla on the top with, God, and that little picture right there, it looks like Baby Godzilla.
Oh, why does that look like a mugshot or something?
It's his DUI shot. On this side of the packaging, you get Little Godzilla doing a dance. A nice shot of his pecs right there. On the side of the packaging, just more Little Godzilla and a lot more green. Back of the packaging just shows you what the figure comes with. Him with some dynamic poses. Some stuff I can't understand. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla poster, and some Lego Mumbo Jumbo. And then for Godzilla Jr.'s packaging, you get a nice shot of, I'm 100% certain that is the suit right there, because that looks way more detailed than the actual figure, but we'll go over that in a second. You get clear plastic, so you see Godzilla Jr. on the inside of the box. Top, just more clear plastic. Godzilla Jr., another awesome green mugshot. On this side of the packaging, just more Godzilla Jr., but actually the figure, and some more chest shots. On this side of the packaging, just more Godzilla Jr., and back of the packaging, just him with some dynamic poses, more stuff I can't understand, Godzilla vs. Destroyer poster, and even more mumbo jumbo. So, let's get into the actual figures. Alright, so first we're going to start with Little Godzilla right here, and for his accessories, he comes with 4 pieces of crystal that you can also have posing with Space Godzilla, which is generally what I have it doing. So you get 2 big ones, 2 small ones.
So you stole his accessories and gave it to another creature?
Yes.
You are a monster.
Well, I kind of just have Little Godzilla just like chilling on my shelf, and then Space Godzilla needs way more crystals than he came with. And then you also get 2 clear, oddly colored stands, which are to hold the crystals in.
So wait, shouldn't they like, color that like dirt or something at least? Because it's, it's holding the crystals for the prison?
You would think. I kind of wish they just would have went with the standard like clear plastic. But as you can see, how you insert these into here is on the bottom of the stands, there's going to be 3 peg holes total. You just kind of pick which one you want to put it in. You insert it in. And initially, too, when these come in, they'll have little inserts on the inside of them. You just pop them out so you can put the crystals in. But as you can see, looks pretty cool with our little Godzilla here. You can also articulate these at the base. So you can make the little crystal pyramid. Or crystal prison, I should say. It's still kind of a pyramid. Mine sometimes like to pop out pretty easy. But what you can also do, because moving your shelf around and stuff around, you'll see that these will just slide around. They also come with 4 of these little connector pieces total. Which, what you do with these is on the bottom here, you notice that there is some peg holes right here on the sides. You can kind of just pick a side, insert these into it. And the other stand has literally the exact same thing going on. And I do like that they give you 4 of them in case you lose them, but you only really need 2. Unless you pick up more little Godzillas, but then you'd also have like even more of those, so kind of defeats the purpose. Now, your stands are fully connected. Stays together pretty well until you start trying to lift it up, and then sometimes it likes to pop out.
Or fall off.
More so than the crystals and the actual base. But now you can set him on top, close him in, and now he's trapped forever. Or at least until Godzilla rescues him.
God, I hope he don't. Because he turns into this, Steve. He turns into this. Just leave him in that prison. He'll stay that adorable.
If he didn't change, we wouldn't get Destroyer.
Stay adorable, man.
Except for little Godzilla's details, head sculpt is freaking adorable. With his giant little baby eyes, and his cute little mouth with his little sharp teeth for eating fruits. Because you don't ever really see him eating anything like meat related.
He's a meat eater, Steve. You're stupid.
You think I'd be stupid, but you're wrong. Or please tell him he's wrong. But for his head, you can see the trademark Heisei Godzilla ears on the side. On the back here, you get the dorsal spine starting to form. But the paint job is a little bit sloppy here at the top, but nothing too bad. Then you get his cute little dorsal spines coming down the back and going down his little tail. Which kind of looks like cauliflower. Or something. Like some sort of weird vegetable just sticking out of his back.
Don't make fun of him.
But you've been this entire time.
I'm allowed to. You're not.
But I want to make fun of things too.
You're the serious one, Steve.
Yeah, right. But for his arms, nothing too much to really say here other than it's just very Godzilla looking. His nails are painted in a bone coloring. For his chest, done in a very sand color, which contrasts the overall green color of the kaiju. Which is odd, because Godzilla is like charcoal black, right? Why is little Godzilla green then?
He hasn't been burned yet.
But they're both affected by radiation. So.
You want to know what else? I got a new name for him.
Huh?
I'm going to call him C-Cup.
I get it. Then he's got his little pot-belly tummy. And for his legs, a little bit of a chubbers down there as well. You can see his little bit of his kneecaps just like his big old papa. For his feet, he's got 4 toes. Some detailing on the bottom section for the pads. And his tiny little tail. Now, for his articulation, his mouth can go up and down, so you can have him kind of talking if you want. No other articulation here at the head. His chest can move back and forth. No real wiggle to it, though, on the sides. Arm could go up about that far, down about that far. Go all the way around, though. Has a little bit of bend here at the elbows. Also, a little bit of rotation here up at the shoulder as well. Hand can rotate all the way around. A little bit of a pivot to it as well. His legs can go out about that far, but then you got a crap ton of gapping. Inwards about that far. Really nice forward kick, though. Especially for a Godzilla figure. Then can go backwards about that far.
You know why he has that kick for?
Really nice bend here at the knees. Why is that?
Because he's going to turn into the original Godzilla so he can do that kick. You remember from that movie?
Oh, where he's on his tail.
Yeah.
Just, woo! But you don't even need it then. You need his tail to articulate, which sadly only can rotate side to side here at the base. No other articulation for his tail. And that's pretty much it. Just a little bit of
bend here at the feet. So for a Monsterarts figure, not the most articulated, but pretty much it's what it needs to be.
It's adorable looking.
Maybe I like a little bit more articulation here up at the head so the head can rotate. But I do like that there's no seam line there because there's no articulation, so it makes them look a little bit cleaner. So overall, pretty happy with this guy. And then next we will go over Godzilla Jr. I will let Arnez take over the reins here in just a second. But for his accessory...
I do have a question, Steve. Are you sure you want me to do this? After messing with him for 10 minutes, I don't think I have a lot of positive things to say about him.
But we're the house of positivity here. So he comes with 2 helicopters, which is here for a lot of the scenes where you have the little group chasing Godzilla Jr. around and when he fights Destroya and when he's like in the water. So that helps to replicate that. Also, I like to use these ones with Shin for reasons. I don't know why. I just like actually, this is another one. I don't have them posing with him. I have them posing with Shin.
You're a horrible person, Steve.
But it's because I just... You know what? I'll let you take over here in just a second.
It's like taking like a Woody's hat and putting it on top of Gypsy Danger.
I've done it. They've seen it. If they watched any of this, anything on this channel, you've eventually... Oh, actually, no. Yeah, on this channel. Yeah. Because it was the skit for Polaris had Woody on it. Or the Woody hat. But for the helicopters, they just sit on top of this bendy wire here, so you can kind of just bend this however you feel like. But when you start bending at weird angles, the little stand here is knock it off
with those blades, Steve. Be careful.
But the stand will not hold this in. Also, what's kind of sucky is the wire likes to pop out of the stand really easy too.
Can I be honest? It looks kind of cheap, dude.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish there was, like, they would have went with a route more aligned to the Toho effect sets with the little jets for that. They had like a little smaller cap so you could stick this on top of. That would have been great.
No, I appreciate what they did with this, you know? It's kind of cool, but it looks cheap. It looks like if I freaking sneeze on, it's going to fall over, you know?
Yeah. But for a little closer look at the detail for the helicopters anyways, I'm going to try to keep this on the stand because if I start moving my fingers, it's just my fat fingers are going to take up most of the shot.
The viewers are right, Steve. You are fat with your fingers.
They don't have to tell me. I love fast food. I can't stop myself. But for the details for the helicopters, look really nice. It's done in a metallic silver with a little bit of black here for the little landing, whatever you call that. The landing strip thing.
It's something.
Some technical term I can't think of right now. For the cockpit is done in a metallic blue. Have the little rotors on the back here. And on
Steve,
the top...
You ever seen that movie Black Hawk Down?
Yeah. Kid way.
Black Hawk Down!
But for the top of the helicopter, the propellers are done in a translucent plastic, which kind of gives the illusion that they are running. And then it also comes with... I forgot. It's in the
God,
box.
you stupid, Steve. It's flying, not running. They don't have legs.
That's what they're called. Legs. God, if only I could remember that. Pair of just standard propellers. Which I don't really like using these ones because personally I kind of like the look that they're already flying. So these are kind of cool if you just want to sit it on the table just to make it look like it's stagnant.
Options, man.
It does give you options, but you do get 2 of these.
And now that I kicked Steve out of the seat, I have one question, Steve. Why did you let me do the ugly one?
Because over on the Geek Chest, we did a top 10 least favorite SH Monsterarts figures in my collection. This guy made the top 10.
You know...
Actually, I think he was number 4 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was pretty up high. At first, I didn't understand you. Like, what?
I don't know. Subscribers, let me know in the comment section below.
At first, I didn't understand why you put him on there. Until I was over here in a corner playing with him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, playing with my toys. God, 30-year-old playing with toys. Jesus.
Oh, I'm done.
I love those comments because it's like, what were you expecting?
Were you expecting my 11-year-old to be playing with like $200-300 toys?
Well, for yours, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to solve this review right now, you guys.
Megatron, no!
The end. Boom. Alright, let's just get this over with, Steve, before I pull that gun again on him. The one positive thing I really do enjoy about him is his eyes. They really do stick out, especially on the color that he comes with, the green color, you know?
Yep.
And his eyes are... What color is that, Steve?
Orange. I'm going to say orange from this distance.
To me, it looks more like amber.
Sure.
You know what? Violet. Let's just throw some random names. What other colors do people name their
Michelle.
kids? Michelle. I love this Michelle. Oh, God. For his head sculpt, it's weird. And it took me a little while to figure out why he's so weird until Steve pointed it out. He's more of a... What's that form called?
He resembles more of the Godzillasaurus than actual Godzilla.
Yeah, he definitely does, because he definitely has like this hunch right here I don't like. And his long neck, and I can't fix it. If I do, he looks weird. Like, look at that.
I don't know, to be honest, that looks more straight than how you had it originally. Because now the dorsal spines are all gapped.
Are you happy, Steve?
No?
Because by the time he's 30, he's going to have a broken back if he keeps walking like this.
You're supposed to have a team lift if it's over 50 pounds, man.
Oh, God, we're never going to get this done. All right, for his closer details, you can see his little nostrils up here he has. His tongue actually looks like it's wet, and I really appreciate that about the figure that they did.
Yeah, what's nice is for how small it is, they put a lot of effort into it.
They put a lot of effort that it failed.
Oh, why? How did it fail? Even his teeth were painted.
What?
Like, I will say that this thing is definitely nicer painted than the Shin Godzilla.
Man, Steve, you're really asking for it. You know there's going to be like 10 people that actually watch this whole video is going to hear that.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, God. So for his back, it's really hard to get everything aligned properly. I don't know if because they put a lot of joints on him or what.
He does have a ton for being how small of a figure. Like, he's about the same size as the little Godzilla, and he has way more joints.
I don't know if it was a good idea, though, because he's having a really, like, hard time.
I kind of feel like he maybe could have been better served with a little bit less articulation.
But for the back, when you go down to the paint job, you see there's a lot of missed opportunities, like, especially right there. The paint just, like, leaks all over his back. And I get it. You know, it's kind of hard to paint in between that stuff. But for the amount of money you're paying, Jesus Christ, you'd think they would put in a better effort into it.
Which?
See what I'm talking about? See right there?
Yeah.
I don't like that. But besides that, it looks pretty good. They're tiny because he's tiny. I just don't get it how this cute thing evolves into this monstrosity with back issues.
Yeah, I like how he becomes, like, he goes from, like, literally a Godzillasaurus into cute, chibi, Minya-ish looking thing, back into a Godzillasaurus when he gets more radiation.
But going down his neck, it's really long, and I think that's one of the things that bugs me about this guy, is just how stupid long this thing is. Like, God, look at that. Even my fat fingers, like, are not that big.
Yeah, it's very long in the movie, too, though. Like, in terms of, like, overall scale with the movie, it does work really well.
And going from his long neck down to the rough chest, I really do like this.
You want to talk about C-cup? Like, look at that.
I don't know. C cup over here. This guy's just a B cup.
I don't know. I feel like he's wearing the push-up while this one's
hanging it loose.
Isn't taking care of himself.
Steve, I thought this was supposed to be a serious review.
I don't think that's what we do around here, man.
Touche. And we go from his D cup down to his chest. Wait.
It's gone up now? You went from C. I said C, you went to B, and now we're at D.
You know what?
You know, you're foreign. I'll let it slide that you don't know the alphabet.
Touche. My alphabet has 32 letters in it, so.
It has letters?
I hate this guy. Alright, we're going from his chest down to his stomach, which there's this gap right here.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger issues I have with this guy is he has a lot of gapping issues, especially when you're articulating.
Yeah, which is really one of the things that bugs me, I guess, is his articulations. Well, it's not the articulations, it's the gaps that this thing creates when you articulate him, which they should have not put this many on such a small figure.
That or maybe cleaned it up, just maybe like hinder the articulation, but lined up the plastic a little bit better.
Yeah, because like, look at that, even in between his legs. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There's quite a bit of gapping there. If you ought to have it spaced out at all.
Oh, poor guy. He didn't do anything to deserve that.
Granted, you can like line up the joints to make him the gapping not as big of an issue, but then it kind of hinders the posability a bit.
Which defeats the whole purpose of
Having the joints to begin with.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't like it. Please don't hate me for that. I'm sorry, you guys.
He does have very long, slender legs, though.
Yeah, we're going down to his legs. I feel like this one right here is a little bigger than this one. To me, at least, it is.
A little bit. What's kind of odd, too, is he went from, like, super chubby legs from Little Godzilla, which is very, again, Godzilla-ish. While this one is a little bit more lean and more dinosaur.
Yeah, plus there's this, like, I feel like his kneecaps are on the wrong side, man. Like, what is this, an extra?
Yeah, it's just, like, kind of dinosaur joints.
I don't...
Or it has an extra bend on the back.
You know what? You're right, Steve. We'll go to one positive thing about this guy. Is his long tail. Like, I really do appreciate it. How long it is. I do like the paint job that it went from charcoal to green. A little bit in between. There's some white down here. Or maybe they just messed that up. Either way, it turned out nice. Also, it's got the scaling right here. Then when you get closer to it, this it's not so rough. Which up here at the top, if you can hear it.
Stop rubbing my paint job off.
What paint job? It's just charcoal black. See? I guess it's from this, right?
Yeah, well, it's just like the plastic underneath. Alright, so for his articulation, head can look up about that far, down about that far.
Steve kicked me out of chair.
Can look a little bit to the left, to the right. You didn't even want to do this, man. His mouth can open up and down. Has a little bit of a rotation to it. So you can get a little bit of a swivel to it. Arm can go up about that far, down about yay far. Can rotate all the way around.
He can salute. That's a good thing.
Yep. It's a little bit of rotation here at the top of the shoulder. Not really at the elbow. Decent bend at the elbow, though. Hand can rotate all the way around on the ball joint, so a little bit of play there for the wiggle as well. For his chest, can go down about that far. Up about that far.
That looks weird.
Yeah, talk about gapping again. Can go a little bit side to side. Legs can go out about that far. Inwards about that far. Pretty decent forward kick there as well. Can go backwards about that far.
Can he do the sitting pose like the Little Godzilla?
Almost. The tail kind of hinders that. But for his knees, decent bend there as well. Got a little bit of rotation here at the top part of the thighs too.
Gap.
Another rotation here at the knee. At his feet. A little bit of a bend here at the second joint. So here this feet can pivot up and down. A little bit to the left and to the right. And then, just like Arnett said, the tail is on ball joints. So you can go get it about that far to the right. That far to the left. About that high up. And straightens up about that far. And for some quick comparisons, here we have the Little Godzilla and Godzilla Jr. compared next to some other SD's Monsterarts figures with Space Godzilla and Mogira.
So are they supposed to be in scale with the Space Godzilla?
Yes.
So that's their actual size
Yes.
for both of them.
Yes. And here they are, compared next to the SD's Monsterarts Burning Godzilla and the second form from the Destroyer Evolution set. And here they are, compared next to some Monster Island Bandai vinyls with Space Godzilla and Destroyer. And here they are, compared next to the SD's Monsterarts Shin Godzilla they were speaking of earlier, and the Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit 1. So overall, with the SD's Monsterarts Little Godzilla and Godzilla Jr., I personally think the Little Godzilla is definitely the better value than what you get with Godzilla Jr. Because overall, I just think the Little Godzilla is a better figure than what we got with the Godzilla Jr. And I like the accessories a little bit better with the crystals over the helicopters. I just think the crystals definitely make for a better display piece than the overall helicopters. Which was pretty much my main problem with Godzilla Jr. Like, Little Godzilla came with enough that I feel like he was merited his own release. While Godzilla Jr. definitely needed to either come with another figure or come with more stuff to incorporate with other figures. So if you don't already have one, I would say the Little Godzilla is definitely the one I would go with over Godzilla Jr. But it kind of all depends personally on what movies you prefer. Like if you like Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, then definitely get the Little Godzilla. But if you're more of a Godzilla vs. Destroyer fan, then definitely would lean more towards Godzilla Jr.
Why are you recommending that to people, Steve?
Well, I figure if you're watching this video and you like SD's Monsters figure, like, you're going to want it no matter what. Like, I don't think the Godzilla Jr. is a bad figure per se. Just compared to most other Monsterarts figures, he's definitely lackluster.
But how much is he?
Well, I think like I said, when I picked him up, it was about $50.
Yeah, that's now. But how much is he? Like that was then. How much is he now, though?
I don't know. I don't keep up with the random figures.
That's not.
You got your phone out? Look it up, damn it!
I don't even know what his name is.
We've been saying it this entire review.
Godzilla Jr.
Yes.
Minya.
Well, both of these appear to be a little bit over $100 nowadays, which that's kind of rough. If you can pick them up for definitely less than that, I would recommend it. Like somewhere in like the $50 range is a little bit more reasonable for these figures.
Yes, please, for love of God, don't pay this much.
But what do you guys think? Do you guys own the SH Monsters, Little Godzilla, and Godzilla Jr.? What's your favorite baby Godzilla or is Godzuki just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. A closer picture of these guys on our website if you want to click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account, so if you guys want to help support the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.